This week we're going to begin assembling our Celtic knot. And last week you would have made a bunch of cutouts to use. And if you need to add any more, again, you can take a paper and fold it that way. We can cut multiple shapes at one time. So if I want to, I can trace a circle, cut the circle out all at one time. And I like keeping my scissors in one spot and turning the paper as it needs to cut. So you're gonna go all the way around. Then I have 4 circles. The next thing is we need to turn it into a ring. So you're going to fold it in half, and along the edge you want to go equal distance and trace an inside ring right next, so you're following the curve of the circle, and you can begin cutting that. Again, I'm turning the paper and I'm keeping my scissors in one spot. There we go. Okay, so next comes, we want to start designing our ring. You will always begin it with your biggest circle in the center. And what I recommend doing is taking a bit of Scotch tape, and with the Scotch tape, you just want to make these little pieces just to tack down your circle. So we're just tacking it down. We're not taping it, we're just tacking it in little sections, so that way it stays where it needs to stay, stays put. So the next thing is you can play around with your design. So I can figure out how I want these to go. I could do 3, or I could do 4, whatever I want. Okay, so once you have the second layer laid out, you can then start intertwining your rings. So you want to make them look like they're hooked into one another. And how we do that is you can go along, and where these two intersect, you can make a little line just where they intersect. And if I cut this like so, I can then put it under so it looks like it's connected or intertwined with this bigger ring. So the smaller with the bigger. And again, I can do that again. Just cut it anywhere, and then making sure it's under. So the thing you have to kind of figure out is, do you want, see how this is above and under? Do you want to keep that where this side's above and this side goes under? So it's just some design things to think about. It'll still work however you do it. So again, this side's above. I think I'll go this side under, and this side would be above, and this would go under. So you might need to move tape around. If that's the case, you can go ahead and do that. So these, I like how they're looking. So I can go ahead and tack these down, and that way I know that they're gonna kind of stay where I need them to stay. And so just a little smidge of tape is great. So they're not gonna move on me while I do my next one. So now I have these guys, and I can start playing around with how I want these to look. So that's all pretty good. So I can start figuring out how I want these to intertwine within these rings. So again, if I cut it in one spot, I can put it under. Maybe I want it to go like this, so you can kind of see. So again, I gotta cut this one, and I can start looping it around. Go over, under, whatever works for you. It's your design. This goes under. Pretty good. I got a few more. And again, if a tape is in the way, just move the tape. Okay. I'm gonna move that tape so I can position my ring where I need it to go. Like so. And my last one. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. I go under, over. I think I'll just go under. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so the next thing to, once you get enough rings on, you can then take this glue, and it's just a little squeeze bottle of glue, and you can start going around and lifting up these little corners and pressing just to start gluing your rings down. You're just gluing them in different spots. You're not trying to get glue from here to here. You just want a little bit of glue to press it down. And that'll be enough to hold your design in place. So here, I want to go here. And I'm just gonna keep going. Make sure I get the outside rings anywhere I can. And you'll see if it's sticking up a lot, you know that you probably didn't get that glued down yet. So there, this one was wanting to come up, so I probably need to glue it down so it doesn't pop up again. And that goes under there. So this is looking pretty good. You can do a shake test to make sure see that one came out. So I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of glue there. And this is sticking up. A little bit of glue there. So it's okay if some of the rings are popping off, that's totally fine. The last thing will be gluing your center, whatever that's going to be. And again, you can use the same technique of just gluing that on and pressing it down. After this dries, you can then remove these little bits of tape, okay? And again, these were just used to tack things, meaning briefly hold it there. So you can remove all these little pieces of tape. And you are good.